Rossi doing everything within their power, and they've got lots of power to try and hunt down Jorge Lorenzo. Bradley Smith coming under pressure from Carol Crutchlow and Danny Pedrosa remain at fourth start. Smith currently running in ninth place. They come up towards the Dunlop chicane. In front of him, you can see it was a Maverick Vinales and Later Sparta on Polar Sparta. Stardewall's last Chappelle once again. The Spargo brothers now locked in combat, aren't they? It's younger brother Paul that leads the way. The late, I've something to say about that as they break. But at the end corner, moment there for Paul Spargo, and the later Spargo comes through on the inside. And Maverick Vinales comes through as well. Yeah, it's almost like Paul Spargo just locked the front there in the braking zone. Massive wobble under the brakes. That's let the two Suzuki through, as Nick said. Danny Pedrosa's in a real dogfight with the Brits. Bradley Smith, Cal Crutchlow and Scott running just behind him. Valentino Rossi's already made a good breakaway from this chasing group. He's about 6/10 of a second, just over 7/10 now clear of the later Spargo. Everybody's waiting now for the mouth-watering showdown between Rossi and Marquez. Rossi trying to hunt down the number 93. The gap now down to just 9/10 of a second. There's a good battle down further down the field, isn't it, between Smith, Crutchlow, Pedrosa and Redding. Long way to go. Still 24.5 laps to go of this round 5 of the Moto Gp World Championship. And again, on that 4, it's Andrea Iannone who set the best lap of the race. It's just been bettered by Valentino Rossi. Rossi on the charge. He's cut that gap down to Marquez now to just over 7/10 of a second. Lorenzo can't quite break the shackles of the two factory Ducatis. Confirmation there on your screen of that 1:33.293 last time around for Valentino Rossi. That was 3/10 of a second quicker than the race leader Jorge Lorenzo. The problem for Rossi is Lorenzo's 3.3 seconds up the road. You can't speak highly enough of the performance of the two Ducatis at the moment, because Lorenzo by this time in many a race would have started to prize open a fair old advantage. They're giving it absolutely everything to prevent that, but Lorenzo, may just be waiting for him to settle down, waiting for the tyres to really bed in, waiting for the fuel load to go down a little bit, and then he has his ability to look at his board, see where everything is, and then try and put in some really quick rounds. This is to say, right boys, you can stay with it, but can you stay with it right off the pace? Marquez had some pretty well documented off-track problems with Valentino Rossi last year. He's about to have a big on-track problem with the Italian, because Rossi's just taking chunks of time out of Marc Marquez. Although in that first sector, Rossi lost 3/10, so whether Valentino Rossi might have made a mistake in the braking zone for the Shimano chicane, we'll track that as Lorenzo comes through the recorder double right-hander at the end of the lap. He still leads the way from the two Ducatis. Lorenzo over the line, personal best lap of the race for him, a 1:33.459. I reckon he's just decided to turn the screw a little bit and slow down the gauntlet to the two red Ducatis to say, right, and Iannone now says, right, Andrea Dovizioso, my turn, let me lead the pack, let me have a go, but make sure I don't take you with me down the road as I did in Argentina. But now it's Iannone in second place, and Dovizioso, well, they're probably just hanging there and see if Iannone's got the pace to pull him along a little bit. Of course, these two fighting for just one place available in the factory Ducati team next year. Ducati still keeping them both waiting. Iannone's a little bit wide going through the museum corner. No chance for Dovizioso to retaliate immediately. Valentino Rossi on that last lap lost 4/10 of a second in the final two sectors on Marc Marquez. He closed the gap to 6:10, so he's been edged out now to 1.3 seconds. Not sure if Valentino Rossi's got some kind of a minor issue, or whether Marc Marquez has just got his pitfall message and decided to up his pace. Down through the gearbox into the Shimano Professors. We ride with Andrea Iannone. They're about in his face is his teammate number 4, Andrea Dovizioso. Little short straight then into the blue S. It's the right-hander first right. What might be happening here with Marc Marquez, of course, he did go for that hard option front Michelin tyres. They might have just had to have waited a couple of laps just for it to come in and give him the grip that he wants, because Marc Marquez at the moment is stretching away from Valentino Rossi, while at the same time closing the gap on the two Ducatis. Marc Marquez is doing exactly that. He's the fastest man on the track last time around, the Spaniard. There he is, a 1:33.576, 1.2 seconds behind Andrea Dovizioso. It's Marquez, quickest of this lead group of 5. Well, coming in this morning, we were discussing the race. We said if Lorenzo gets away, that could be it at the front, but it should be a fierce old battle podium position. You just get the feeling that is exactly what is going to happen. 22 to go. Lorenzo Iannone, Davizioso, Marquez, Rossi, Scott Redding has retired out of the race. That sounds like a mechanical problem. We then have Alexis Spargo, Vinales, Paul Spargo, Bradley Swift, Crutchlow Pedrosa, Hernandez Petrucci, Eugene Lavity in 40, Barbara Miller, Barbara Basler, and Baptista. But Scott Redding out of the race on the Pramac Ducati. Oh, Iannone's crashed. Andrea Iannone was in second place, leading the chase on Jorge Lorenzo, and just like he did in the opening round of the championship in Qatar, it's over for Iannone. Gallantsburg corner has called out Andrea Iannone. 21 and a half laps to go. Let's have a look. They come down out of the museum corner. And there he goes. Front end lost. Across the extra tarmac they have there into the gravel. Well, that's a disaster for Andrea Iannone. Not for the first time in 2016 as he squandered a great chance to get a podium finish. He did it on the opening night of the championship in Qatar in similar circumstances when he was chasing down Lorenzo Cal Crutchlow. Now, 4 crashes in 5 races for Cal Crutchlow, another 4 in the blue S's. This is turning into an absolute disaster for Cal Crutchlow and the LCR Honda team. Yeah, that's a nightmare for Crutchlow. What this is doing, of course, it's helping Valentino Rossi out. Rossi's now up to 4th place, and with Iannone out of the race, it's given Lorenzo just, well, quite a big bit of breathing space actually, because he's 1.5 seconds now clear of Andrea Dovizioso. We know how great Lorenzo is at managing this race, and the 21 laps to go, he's in the prime seat to take his second win of the season. Took a battle for 5th place. We've had a couple of good battles of late, haven't we? Alexis Spargo has been 5th in the last 2 races, hasn't he? Yeah, the finishes alongside each other actually in the last 2 Grand Prix. Silverback's also fallen out at number 6. So the tough rookie season as Vinales runs it wide at the Shimano Verb chicane. Rabat was out of the race there, wasn't he, Maverick Vinales? He was. There is Tito Rabat, that's turn 6, that's Lasha. Oh, that's a fast old crash for the former Moto2 world champion. Thankfully, he's on his feet, but all alone at the front of the field. Now Andrea Iannone's jumped ship, and on that last lap around, Lorenzo was 7/10 of a second faster than Andrea Dovizioso, 1:33.5 from Lorenzo. Nobody else is within 4/10 of a second of the Spaniard. 2.2 second advantage. Marquez in third, Rossi, Maverick Vinales, Alexis Spargo, Paul Spargo, Bradley Smith, Danny Pedrosa, and Danilo Petrucci, top 10. Another good ride from Eugene Lavity in 11th. Bravo, Barbara, Miller, Baptista, and Bass. Only 16 riders left in this race, and there's a long, long way to go. There is still just over 19 laps to go. Yeah, we've got some big points to pick up here for riders. We've lost Johnny Hernandez as well. He's turning into a bit of a battle of attrition out there at the moment because Rabat, Crutchlow and Andes have gone out. Scott Redding's retired. Andrea Iannone is back out there actually, running around, circulating in 17th place. Circulating with a fairly comfortable lead of over 2 seconds is the reigning world champion Jorge Lorenzo, who made that lightning start as he's so accustomed to doing. Once you give him clear tarmac, it's crucial for the race that Marquez or Dovizioso or Iannone made the start. Marquez had a nightmare launch off the line, but he's doing a great job now trying to hunt down Andrea Dovizioso. The gap's coming down in actual fact, 7/10 he is behind Dovizioso. This could be great damage limitation for Marquez.
Right, that's a very good word on Scott Redding, so he's now come back to the box. His bike hasn't yet, and the first word is essentially the engine just stopped.
That's up for Scott Redding. Yeah, the excellent result won in Austin, but things haven't gone so well with him apart from that particular race. I mean, switch to Ducati. Yeah, Marquez again, Mr. Consistency damage limitations, but the difference is he picks up 20 points. The gap at the front will still be 12 points between him and Lorenzo. Now, this bad luck, pretty good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, bad luck for Scott Redding when you think as well he was running inside the top 6 in Argentina when he had a mechanical failure, didn't he, as well? So the second time in 4 races that Scott Redding's been forced to retire with a technical issue. Marquez is definitely edging closer to Andrea Dovizioso.
Visibly now he is closing on, and that's at the museum corner down towards Garage Vert. It's the corner that caught out Andrea Iannone when he was chasing Jorge Lorenzo. There is Dovizioso. Marquez has got him clearly in his sights now as he comes out of Garage Vert and crosses Romano Porfetti's slight rise, and it dips down towards this left and right chicane.
Valentino Rossi is definitely not out of this fight for the podium. His victory hopes might be over if this man continues to ride a picture-perfect race under the Le Mans sunshine. But Rossi's only 1.2 seconds behind Marquez, and he'll see Andrea Dovizioso coming back to the Repsol Honda ride, so that'll be a good incentive for Rossi. Of course, he'll be looking for his third podium finish of the season.
Yeah, Marquez closing all the time on the number 4 red Ducati of Andrea Dovizioso. They come through the second part of the blue end, through the corner, up through the start finish. Still 18 laps to go. Nowhere like half distance yet. Let's have a look at the start.
Yeah, Marquez. Lorenzo got a sensational start. Look at Marquez, passed by Polispargaro, by Andrea Dovizioso from the second row of the grid. He came under threat as well from Smith. It was only because Marquez had the inside line that he was able to just leave his braking a fraction later. Smith actually had a big moment on the brakes. He lost the front going into that first chicane. But Lorenzo had already got 7 or 8 bike lengths off the line. He absolutely judged it to perfection.
Well, we've been watching the practice start to the end of all the sessions, and Lorenzo has not made one bad practice start. And we were saying yesterday, well, there's got to be one bad one in the weekend. This could be it. But not the case, is it? Not the case. Perfect start, and now just running away with the race. And you know, I know, and everybody else in the world knows this man, when he leads like this, can keep those concentration levels absolutely to their highest level.
Yeah, Lorenzo's clearing off into the distance, but we're about to get a pretty exciting battle for the podium, which is what Andrea Dovizioso predicted yesterday. He felt there could be 4 or 5 riders behind Lorenzo that were capable of challenging for the rostrum. We've already lost Andrea Iannone, who would have been in this fight had he not crashed out a couple of laps to go. But the gap between these three, Dovizioso, Marquez and Rossi, is really closing up. Rossi now is within 7/10 of a second of Marquez. That's the same distance between Dovizioso and the Spaniard, no doubt about it, plus 0.6 Marquez, and that's exactly what it is, over the line.
Yeah, and the Ford, the Ducati Portano, 17 laps to go. This is a 28 lap race. So we've still got a long way to go. And Marquez has, well, Dylan would just help us here, chosen that harder compromise front tyre. That'll probably help him a bit under braking now, won't it, Dylan?
It's certainly going to help him under braking, but if there's one warning sign for him, there's 2 other people, Carl Kochler and Peter Rabat, they also chose that harder option front tyre. They have unfortunately both crashed down, so the only other person is Loris Vlad, but that's arguably different because he is so much heavier than the other guys on the front. So a little warning sign for Marquez. And as I speak, Andrea Iannone, he had tried to keep riding, but has now decided to retire in the pits.
In for Andrea Iannone, absolute disaster. Once again, he crosses out of a potential podium position, and he can't keep doing that, can he, man?
Oh yes, front man just washing away.
And you think in Qatar, in Argentina, he's a man that could be second in the World Championship as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
that potential he has.
I mean, not only are these crashes costly in terms of his World Championship, Nick, but what are they doing for his chances of retaining that Moto Gp seat alongside Jorge Lorenzo next year? He's doing
Andrea Dovizioso, perhaps not really thinking of that at the moment, but he's doing his cause a great deal of good, isn't it?
Yeah, unlike Andrea Dovizioso, who's had all the bad luck, all of Andrea Iannone's problems have been self-inflicted, haven't they? You know, it's been unforced errors that have come from Andrea Iannone. This is going to be a really crappy fight very quickly for second place. We're on board with Valentino Rossi, big head shake at 300 kilometres an hour as he comes through that corner. He closes now right up on Marquez, not close enough to attack at the Dunlop chicane. We've got a real great strap on our hands for second now.
Hang on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. This is a battle between 2 people that don't get on very well, and the battle at the front of a man who's had a lot of bad luck. One of these riders is not going to finish on the podium. Take a brave person to forecast which one. That is going to be Rossi, just nips up the inside of the museum corner, just to let Marquez know I'm there and I'm ready. You make one little mistake and I'm up the inside. I reckon Rossi's going to come. Here comes Rossi. I cannot spur.
Rossi smelled bloody through on Marc Marquez. Brilliant move at the garage rear corner. The crowd go absolutely ballistic here in Le Mans. Valentino Rossi up into the podium places for the first time in this race. Next up then is Andrea Dovizioso. Lorenzo's almost 4 seconds clear of this battle. Can Marquez respond? This is a great fight.
This is a real test of that new Marc Marquez and to stay calm and get consistent results, because he just wants to fight back at him. Rossi really is on the charge. Rossi, he's going to have a go at Andrea Dovizioso, either at the Dunlop chicane or perhaps where he actually got past Marc Marquez down at Garage Burr. We'll stand by with 14 laps to go. Sorry, 15 laps to go of this 28 lap race.
Yes, no doubt about it. The quickest of this trio is Valentino Rossi. No one has got the pace for Jorge Lorenzo. He's just whacked in his fastest lap of the race. Oh, Rossi got a bit tight on the rear end of the Dovizioso through the Dunlop chicane. Managed to pull it up on the brakes. No move though for Rossi as yet. Lorenzo just put in a 1:33.432. That's his best lap of the race. He was last time around 1.3 seconds quicker than Dovizioso. One-man demolition.
Here comes Rossi up the inside at the museum corner. He made it. Dick Valentino Rossi. Listen to the crowd. He has now moved into second place.
We said Rossi was on the charge. There's no doubt about it. Andrea Dovizioso's podium hopes could be fading pretty fast here, because he'll come under intense pressure again now from Marc Marquez. As Rossi, as it looks like, got the pace to stretch away from Dovizioso. Marquez, look at how much time Marquez loses on the acceleration coming out of turn number 9. He gets absolutely blitzed with that lack of acceleration on that Honda. He closes up in the braking zone, but what he's doing is he's abusing that front tyre. He's overworking that front tyre. That's what causing the issues in Jerez. But he can see Valentino Rossi's in his sights. He will not be giving this up without one almighty fight.
Certainly will not. Through the Recordamon corner into the start and finish. 14 laps to go. Rossi in second place. Lorenzo is cleared off at the front. Andrea Dovizioso and Marc Marquez hang in there. One of those riders will say is going to be disappointed. Vignales in 5th. 6th is Alexis Spargo. Danny Pedrosa 7th. Paul Spargo 8th. Bradley 5th, 9th. And Danilo Petrucci should cross the line in 10th place. Still waiting for him to arrive. Yeah, Petrucci is through. Barber 11. Lavity 12. Miller 13. 14 Batista. And completed the point. Stefan Bradl in 15th place.
Marc Marquez is hanging in there. He's got that hard option front tyre on, so he'll have the braking stability. He won't have the turning performance, the cornering agility of those two riders in front of him. So he's got to make a lunge on the brakes. He's got to make sure it's surgeon-like precision.
It's a big old race for Andrea Dovizioso after all that hard luck. His teammate Andrea Iannone is out of the race, fighting for that place at Ducati. He's not known for out-and-out aggression, is he, Andrea Dovizioso? But he's really hanging in there well at the moment. But it's difficult for him because he's got the man in front he wants to take, but he's got a man right on his rear wheel as well.
Yeah, Rossi has yet just over.
It hasn't been at the put away.
Been able to get away. We thought that Rossi, once he got to the front of this battle for second place, he might just be able to slowly eke away from Dovizioso and Marquez. While this is all going on, we should keep an eye, a close eye on Maverick Viñales, because last time around he was in the 33s. The only other rider to be doing that was Jorge Lorenzo. And Viñales fully out of contention for this second place fight, but he's pulled away quite considerably from his teammate Alexis Spargo. You get a perfect illustration of the problems that Marc Marquez and Honda have got in 2016, coming out of that garage rear corner. Low gear, hard acceleration. The Yamaha and the Ducati are just able to take 6, 7, 8 bike lengths out of Marc Marquez. And what that means, of course, is Marquez has got to take much more risks in the braking zone, not only to close the gap he loses on corner exit, but to try. Oh, Marquez has they're both down! Dovizioso, Marquez has crashed in tandem! Incredible!
Both gone down. Did they touch?
No, Marquez went down first, and ahead of him, Marquez, I'm sure, went down first. Well, that That was tandem crashing. They almost went down absolutely together. I've never seen anything like it.
Wasn't it?
That was incredible. I've never seen anything quite like it. That wasn't because Marc Marquez was distracted by Dovizioso. They clashed at exactly the same time.
Marquez out, Dovizioso out, Lorenzo and Rossi lead the way for Yamaha. It could put Maverick Vinales on course for his first MotoGP podium finish. He just gets on with it, Lorenzo, but what he does not know is he now leads the World Championship. Will his board tell him that Marquez and Dovizioso are out? Yes, telling them that Marquez is out of the race. Still 12 laps to go here at Le Mans. Wow!
Valentino Rossi forward, out Marquez, out Dovizioso, thumbs up from his pit forward man Gary Coleman. What this is doing for the World Championship is monumental. Lorenzo will take the lead. Marc Marquez desperately trying to get that factory Honda going. Whatever he does, he won't be getting back inside the point. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. They crashed at the exact same time. Here we go. This is the replay. We'll follow Rossi. Dovizioso's going to... There we go. If you ever stop watching those two, somebody timed the moment that they both lost the front, it was exactly the same time. They both looked at each other almost in shock.
Yeah. I remember... Well, look at that. I remember, I think it was Mick Doohan and Weingart at the Nürburgring doing exactly the same. I remember commentating saying the same. It's like synchronised swimming.
And there, look, Jorge Lorenzo has just swept through on a very disconsolate Marc Marquez. There is a massive swing in the momentum of this World Championship coming here in France, because Jorge Lorenzo is poised to take over the lead in the World Championship. And with Valentino Rossi in second place, Rossi will only be 12 points behind. Rossi, Marquez and Lorenzo split by 12 points. Going to Mugello. Get your ticket now.
We're going straight there. Maverick Vinales, keep calm. You could put that Suzuki on the podium finish. His first MotoGP podium finish. Wow, will that affect how he makes that decision? Oh my God, that is a damaged old Honda, isn't it, for Marc Marquez? One would imagine he's got to come in, isn't he?
Yeah, Race Director, the keeping a pretty close eye on that, but he has a look over his shoulder. Valentino Rossi's coming. Valentino Rossi might be getting a face full of gravel in about 300 kilometres an hour there.
Please be careful here, boys. Please, yeah.
That's a sensible thing, Marc Marquez.
Through the Dunlop chicane, Marc Marquez's race is over. He will actually pick up some points, won't he? Because he's running in 15th place at the moment. He'll pick up a single point. So he will try and keep going, I would imagine.
Can you imagine, Nick, if you're in that factory Ducati garage right now, how many podium finishes this year have Ducati let slip through their grass? You know, he crashed out of the podium in Qatar. Both of them are going to finish on the podium in Argentina before you know he took out Dovizioso on the final lap. Andrea Dovizioso looked well set for a podium in Texas when he had those problems. This is why Jorge Lorenzo, in this situation, is invincible, completely unbeatable. Look at that consistency. 133.4 was his best on lap 13. 133.5, 133.5. There's no deviation there of more than 2 or 3 tenths of a second from, forget the first lap, obviously that was from a standing start, but from the second lap, his lap times until this stage of the race have not deviated by more than 2 or 3 tenths of a second. That's why he's the world champion. That's why he's going to take over the top of the world championship, courtesy of a massive mistake. The first one of the year by Marc Marquez. I guess now we can say they've all made one big mistake this year now, can't we?
They certainly have. When we look at Marc Marquez and that damage for Honda, his teammate Danny Pedrosa is really on the charge now. The gap between Rossi and Lorenzo is 6 seconds. Vinales is crossing the line now in 3rd place. Then it's Danny Pedrosa, Alexis Espargaro, Paul Espargaro, Randy Smith, should be Danilo Petrucci, and Jack Miller has crashed out. It is a war of attrition, so Jack Miller, who was running in 10th place, has crashed out of the race. Rider okay. So Smith, and 8th is Petrucci, 9th is Barbara, 10th now is Batista on the Aprilia, 11th is Eugene Lafferty, 12th is Stefan Bradl, 13th Loris Baz, and that should put Marc Marquez actually up into 14th place if he can manage to keep going.
That would be incredible, wouldn't it, for Marc Marquez?
Could be crucial by the time we reach Valencia, those points.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that. Yeah, so shocking day for the factory Ducati team, an awful day as well for Australia Galiti, Mark BDS. Both of their riders crashing out in very different circumstances. Andrea Iannone falling out of 2nd place, Andrea Dovizioso crashing in unison with Marc Marquez while he was lying in 3rd place.
If you hadn't seen all the other riders go through there every single lap, you'd say there's got to be something down on the circuit there, haven't you?
Well, if you
And it wasn't caused by either rider, but both went down exactly the same time, didn't they? You can't say that you know need to do perhaps it was a water pump problem again. Vizioso, and some water went down on the track because they went down together, didn't they?
Yeah, the way Andrea Dovizioso fell, it was almost like Marc Marquez just got distracted. We've seen that so many times. The rider goes down in front of you, you do get your eye line is immediately drawn to the rider that's already crashed out. Well, that wasn't the case. What about that battle for third? It's only Pedrosa still in with a shout at the podium. He's 2.5 seconds behind Maverick Vinales.
Backward advantage, though, isn't he? What have we got? 8.5 laps to go.
He's going to run out of time. What this would do, of course, for Maverick Vinales and Suzuki, it would not be a career first podium for Maverick Vinales in Moto GP. It would be Suzuki's first since Loris Capirossi, was it in Bruno? Is it back in 2007? I think it was in 2009.
Might have been. It certainly was in Bruno. Here we go. Trying to be so back in. This time, it's not bad luck.
Or you wouldn't want to be in that Ducati garage at the moment.
Replay. This is coming up to the museum corner. I will say nothing. It was an extraordinary crash.
I can't believe it. They're absolutely stunned into silence. Oh, Bradley Smith's gone down. Bradley Smith fallen out of 7th place. 7th place, and he's gone down at turn number 7. He's perfectly okay.
Yeah, that again is up at that museum corner. Certainly brought a few people down, hasn't it?
Confirmation is down here with Paolo Chiavatti and Ducati. Paolo, very unfortunate race day for you guys. What's the feedback from the riders been? Because they both seem to have crashed over the front wheel.
Well, I think it's a different crash. I didn't speak to the riders, but it looks like Dovi crashed on this patch of different asphalt, and Mark did the same. So I think they were maybe on the limit, and the grip on that part may be different. Dovi, I think, I think he was just pushing hard, and he lost the front. That's it.
Both riders are okay, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Disappointed, but okay.
Thank you very much, Paolo.
Disappointed as you think they are. This is a war of attrition. So now we have just 14 riders in.
Bradley Smith looks pretty shaken up by that fall. Power rolling through the gravel track. Disappointment for Smith. What this has done, amazingly, has put Marc Marquez into 13th place. And as Nick said, quite rightly, come the final reckoning in Valencia in mid-November, how crucial could be these extra points, these bonus points really, that Marc Marquez stands to collect here in Le Mans.
We arrive at Hoy Lorenzo, 7.6 second advantage at the front over his teammate Valentino Rossi. This is Danilo Petrucci. What a great return to Grand Prix racing for the Italian on the Pramac Ducati, currently running in 7th place. Yeah, lots of cracks in front of him, but he has stayed on, and behind him is Hector Barbara. And Hector Barbara in the middle of a very good season indeed as they come up towards the Shimano Proof S's. So just over 6 laps to go, and this is the battle for 7th place.
Hector Barbara on his way to a 5th straight top 10 finish in MotoGP for the first time in his career. They want to make it one place better, and he hunts down Danilo Petrucci. The gap between the two of them less than a second. There's a good fight going on for 5th place between the Espargaro brothers. They're separated by just 7/10 of a second. It's advantage pole at the moment in the Tech 3 team's home race. And Pedrosa not making any significant impression on Maverick Vinales for 3rd place. Last time around, Pedrosa just fractionally quicker by about 1/10 of a second, so Pedrosa will be running out of time.
There's Loris Baz, well, he's going to pick up some very welcome points in 12th place in front of his home crowd. It's important for him, obviously. Funny enough, he was 12th here last year, wasn't he? Loris Baz on his MotoGP debut at Le Mans. No, that's steady old ride by Eugene Labadie. Some big points again for the Irish rider running in 11th place, while all the other British riders fall out. Scott Redding with a mechanical problem, Bradley Smith and Cal Crutchlow with crashes. Labadie just wrapped in the points. Good to see also Stefan Bradl in the 10th place on the Aprilia. So Aprilia are going to pick up some pretty decent points, with Bautista running 9th and Bradl intense.
Yeah, that would be Alvaro Batista's best performance since he joined the Aprilia team last year. His previous best was a 10th place. There he is, the former 125cc world champion. He's about 2.2 seconds clear of his teammate Stefan Bradley, we just saw momentarily come into view at the top of your picture. Lorenzo and Rossi are already over. Jorge Lorenzo is still lapping inside the 133. I don't think he's done a 134 lap as yet, Jorge Lorenzo. Rossi, last time around was only 3/10 of a second back, but with so many riders crashing out, Valentino Rossi will be going into a risk-free strategy now. He'll know these are 20 absolutely vital points for his World Championship challenge.
Well, I think when you ride a race at the front as well as Roy Lorenzo does and some of the great riders have, you keep that pace going, don't you? By keeping that pace going, you stay in that same rhythm, that same level of concentration. They do say you start to try and drop it a bit, your concentration can drop a bit, and your whole racing feel can change. Really just racks them up every single time.
Guys, I'm just going to bring you down here to someone who unfortunately crashed, also had this hard eruption front tyre. Tito Batista, you told us you're okay, that's good news, but what about this crash? I mean, you went hard on the front. Had conditions changed a bit since yesterday?
Yes, I don't know why the grip is a little bit low, but I feel very good on the bike. I feel every time better and better, and I pass back, and I don't know why in turn 6 the front close, and I can do nothing now without one advice. Then we will see, try to keep working, keep build the confidence, and next week come back.
Thank you very much, Tito.
But good news is that Tito Rabat is okay. Bad news obviously is that Roy Lorenzo is just keeping up this fast, consistent lapping of the Bugatti circuit here in Le Mans. The gap between him and Valentino Rossi now is 8.7 seconds. But as Matt said, 20 precious points from Valentino Rossi after he had to start from 7th place and had to start from the 3rd row of the grid. Another great afternoon for Yamaha.
I think if you said to Valentino Rossi just before this 28-lap race started that he'll finish second behind Jorge Lorenzo, he would have asked where he had to sign up. This is where all the drama happened with Andrea Dovizioso and Marc Marquez just a few laps to go. A very a unique kind of crash, the two of them in completely separate incidents going down at the exact same time. This is Rossi up at turn number 2. He got a bit carved up in the early laps with Valentino Rossi. He's normally the sort of chief aggressor, isn't he? But he got a bit of a taste of his own medicine in the first couple of laps, but 7th to 2nd place, that's like 20 gold points for Rossi.
What about gold points for Maverick Vinales as he chases his first ever Moto GP podium finish, the first for Suzuki since 2009. He's in the middle of making a decision if he's going to stay with Suzuki or join Yamaha. Hasn't really helped, is it? Because the two Yamahas are 1 and 2, and the Suzuki is riding is in 3rd place. All the other man that should any easier, but great rider by Maverick Vinales. Is there any more twists in this race? You just don't know. I think probably with the first 2 men, I'm sure Maverick Vinales now with that podium of place in his sight will just make sure he brings the Suzuki home.
Yeah, you wonder how this might sway his decision about next year, getting that Suzuki on the podium for the first time in almost a decade.
See him up at turn 1. 2 wins here. His very first Grand Prix win came here at 25. Susie Clark was also a Moto3 winner. The Revio team manager of Suzuki was the man behind Valentino Rossi in the Yamaha first time around, but he's pretty happy. The latest 5 running in 6th and Maverick Vinales running in 3rd place. Vinales, a bit lonely. I don't think Danny Pedrosa, I'm sure, isn't quite close enough. I thought he was really closing the gap, but you see that gap is really constant, isn't it? Right, a very good race in 3rd place. Danny Pedrosa really disappointed about the time so far. Matt, really, the crashing qualifier messed him up, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, Danny Pedrosa had to start from 11th place on the grid, so it's a bit unexpected 4th for him. He's pretty safe in that 4th place. He's 2 seconds behind this man, Maverick Vinales. He's well clear by over 6 seconds ahead of Paul Espargaro. But again, it's going to be 3rd race in a row. Danny Pedrosa has failed to finish on the podium. Lorenzo again, he still hasn't dropped in the 134s. It's just quite amazing, his performance so far. The advantage is now 9.3 seconds.
He's going for the 10-second mark, isn't he? I don't think there's any doubt about that. There's 3 laps to go. Only the first 4 followers across the line. Lorenzo Rossi, Vinales and Pedrosa and Paul Espargaro. And we have a late Espargaro.
Something's happened to a later Espargaro because he's just done a 1:36.067, and Paul Espargaro will have the bragging rights in the Espargaro household tonight because he's now 4.8 seconds clear of older brother.
Trucci in 7, Hector Barbara in 8, Alvaro Bautista in 9. Stefan Barbara should cross the line in 10th place, so 2 top finishes for Aprilia. Eugene Lavity will continue his good season in 11. Loris Ladd picking up some very welcome points in 12th place, and Mark Marquez soldiers on, a lap down or not, in 13th place.
So 2.5 laps to go then for Maverick Vinales to get himself a taste of Suzuki history. Their first podium since they returned to the Moto Gp World Championship last year after a 3-year sabbatical, I guess you could say, a self-imposed exile for the Hamamatsu factory.
Have a look at the master of Le Mans in action. Decimated Mark Marquez's old lap record to take his first pole position. From the very moment he led up into that Dunlop chicane at the start of the race, I think there was a great deal of doubt in anybody's mind that he wasn't going to win this race. I'm trying to work out how many Grand Prix wins now for Jorge Lorenzo. 64 pole positions, isn't it?
Yeah, he's about to take his 42nd Moto GP victory, his 63rd win, equaling his 63rd pole position he got yesterday. So the 101st podium in the Premier Class. It was the last time Anna Reddy became only the 3rd rider in history in the Premier Class to get to a century of podium finishes. Is the 139th of his career coming up. What it would be, it's his 9th visit to Le Mans in MotoGP. This will be his 5th win. So he's got an incredible record here in France.
Taking through the Gallows-Burn corner, so a little short straight before the Shimano Pulp Essex. You'll see him sit up, seamless gearbox down through the gears into the left-hander. Now the right. Even from this camera angle, he looks smooth, doesn't he?
Cool, we better take a photograph of the time machine. He's just dropped into the 134s. He's slacking, Lorenzo, is he? What's he doing?
Come on, we're sliding.
That's it. I mean, to get to lap 26, to drop into the 134s, it's just been nothing short of sensational from Lorenzo. He starts the last lap. He's easing off a little bit now. He knows that he's got a comfortable margin ahead of this man, Valentino Rossi, at 134.2 from Lorenzo.
Great ride by Rossi, having to start from that 7th place on the grid. A bit of rough and tumble in the early stages, but he fought his way through. Maverick Vinales now just 2.600 miles before he should be taking his first ever MotoGP podium finish. And this is Danny Pedrosa. This is where he crashed in qualifying yesterday.
And another great weekend for Yamaha, of course. Another 1-2. Last time out in Jerez, it was their first 1-2 since Catalonia last year. So back-to-back 1-2s for Yamaha. I wonder what Maverick Vinales would think when he stands next to those 2 fans for Yamaha. Right, he's not going to see them.
Oh, what it like, oh, here comes Hector Barbara trying to get a big sort of Danilo Petrucci, desperate to take over 7th place, but desperate also not to pull that record by crashing out.
Yeah, great fight here for 7th place. Petrucci's got the advantage at the moment ahead of Hector Barbara. The return black has been for Danilo Petrucci. He would have expected to have returned after that long injury absence. Oh, he's got in a bit too hot there at the Museum corner where Marquez and Dovizioso did a great job there.
Didn't he do a good job to keep that on the rails? Here comes Barbara once again, off the inside, down at Gallows-Burn. And I think he's blocked the space, but he runs wide, and Petrucci says, I might have a part hand, but we salute Jorge Lorenzo. He celebrated his 29th birthday earlier this week. He's won here in Le Mans, and he leads the World Championship in 2nd place. His teammate, Valentino Rossi.
Lorenzo's the man in Le Mans, and Maverick Vinales, huge wheelie over the line for the Suzuki rider, his career first Moto GP podium for the Spaniard, and Suzuki back on a Premier Class podium for the first time in 7 years.
Another great ride by Paul Espargaro on that X3 Yamaha. The fifth place is brother Aleix in sixth. Suzuki third and sixth. Who's going to win this particular battle? Danilo Petrucci has fought on the challenger Hector Barbara to take seventh.
We'll await the two factory Aprilias of Bautista and Brado. Bautista over the line in ninth. That's his best ever finish on the Aprilia RSGP. Brado took 10th place. Next should be Eugene Larity for another top point scoring finish for the Irishman. Marc Marquez will skate with 13th place. Joy then for Suzuki, Davide Brivio. That's Tom O'Kane and Aleix Espargaro's crew chief. Two Suzukis again inside the top six.
Brilliant stuff from Maverick Vinales. There you go. Bruno 2010 to apologise. So 7 years ago, just going up to 7 years ago, Loris Capirossi, now of course on the safety commission, but the Suzuki on the podium. Maverick Vinales at last has got a Suzuki back on the podium. I'm just going to read you the screen very quickly. It tells the story. Smith, Miller, Marquez, Vizioso, Iannone, Rabat, Crutchlow, Iannone, Hernandez, all crashed out of the race, and Scott Redding retired.
Yeah, just about sums it up, doesn't it? Apart from the fact, of course, that Jorge Lorenzo absolutely dominated. Fantastic in France again for the reigning world champion.
Yeah, his fifth MotoGP win here for Jorge Lorenzo. He now leads the World Championship. What a way to celebrate your birthday. Earlier in the week. I expect there will be some celebrations now, later, here at the start of the new week, before we arrive in Mugello. Valentino Rossi first and second in the last two Grand Prix.